The B1 Centauro is an Italian rank 5 medium tank destroyer sitting at BR 8.0, and it is what happens when you try to marry a 105mm gun to a race car chassis and sprinkle it with Italian flamboyancy. The reason why I called it medium tank destroyer is because despite being classified as a TD, it has access to artillery barrage and is better than most of the medium tanks at BRs up to 9.0. The only reason why it is that low is because Gaijin is smoking crack. I mean that it doesn't have a PFSDS shell and has wet paper towel for its armor, which doesn't fucking matter anyway, since it is not a frontline brawler, but a cheeky flanker and sniper. Today I'll show you how to dominate the battlefield and flex on your enemies with sick drifts while going 100 km/h. Here is how you do it. Centauro is equipped with gun stabilizer, which works well up to 70 km/h. You use that to your advantage and quickscope the enemies in close range head-on engagements. You use your excellent mobility to flank hopeless slower tanks and buzzsack them, occasionally pull in Kansai Rifter. You stick to the roads because it is a wheeled vehicle, meaning as soon as you go off the road, it gets glued to the fucking ground. Remember to avoid soft terrain, snow, mud, water, and sand, because for some fucking reason Centauro isn't able to drive faster than 30 km/h on it, meaning that on the desert maps you are slower than most of the enemies. However, it doesn't mean you are at a disadvantage, and we will get to that later. Anyway, you rush for positions you wouldn't be able to reach in any other tank, and harass oblivious players. Your primary ammunition is pasta infused heat FS shell, but you also can use meatball squash head hash shells for more flavor. You tell APDS to go fuck itself. Smoke shells are optional. However, you can annoy the fuck out of your enemies by launching them at their faces and then rush them while they are blindfolded. On the close range maps you rush the middle part of the map early game. You frontline camp and ambush fresh spawned players returning to the battle. You use the ultra super late braking technique and show them who is the best driver in here. You rub that heat FS into your enemies, like Ainsley Harrier drops his meat. You beat the devil out of tanks like Bob Ross beats the devil out of his brush. In other words, you fuck over people from behind and make them write down dumb shit on Wharf and subreddit because they didn't pay fucking attention and got flanked. Centauro has excellent reverse speed of 40 km/h, meaning you can quickly change the direction of your attack and further confuse the allied brainlet tankers you will face 90% of the time. Coupled with set of smoke grenades, Centauro can quickly disengage enemies, so you don't have to surrender, unlike the whole Italian army during the Second World War. Okay, but what if I'm on the open map with few hard surfaces? I'm glad you asked that, because this is the part when it gets even better. The golden rule to play it on the open maps is again to stick to the fucking roads. However, in spite of maps without any sort of hardened surface, Centauro has yet another massive advantage over every other tank at its BR. Laser rangefinder. It is one of the 2 lowest tanks in the game to be equipped with it, which means that if you have more than 2 brain cells and you are not blind, you can engage any enemy at any range. This makes it the deadliest sniper in correlation to its BR, despite having a rather small gun size zone. This is the fun part of this whole technique. You are able to molest players from across the map without them even realizing what hit them. But remember, your job is to secure the flank and keep the enemies away from precious sides of your teammates, not to camp behind the spawn like the fucking brain dead arty from the other game that we are not talking about. Unlike your enemies, Centauro doesn't have any depression, so you should avoid hill cresting, as you often won't be able to depress the gun low enough. And at last, try to not get shot. Centaurus armor is trelly and often acts like a bullet sponge, but most of the time you will die anyway. Your biggest threats are IFVs and SPAGs, so you should prioritize them. For your modifications, start with researching parts, FPE, then go for the meatball squash head shell for more flavor, filters for better mobility, smoke grenades, and finish it off with heat FX, laser ranger finder, and mobility upgrades. After that, finish the other mods as you wish. For crew skills, go for weapon reloading and tank driving for better Eurobeat flexing. Then go for leadership and field repair, as it might help you not get fucked after being shot on the battlefield. After that, do whatever the fuck you please. Now you know how to Centauro. Get out there and rain godly fucking firestorm upon other nations and show them almighty power of the wheeled vehicles.